play that we've seen Tundra have a lot of success with. Entity, they pretty much solved it here with how they're playing this game. Very well played to them. Entity will take the first game of this best of 3.
Minions, let's do this thing! I'm not mini. I'm 11 3/4. Please stop calling me that.
Mini boss? Mini boss. Mini boss!
Minions, The Rise of Gru.
Mini boss!
I'm a rookie in love. Everything I know about it is from what I've seen in movies, what I've heard in love songs, and what I imagine it to be. I'm a rookie in love because I'm afraid of it. I'm afraid of its force, and I'm afraid of my...
Physical reality. My colleagues and I had been excited about the results, yet didn't expect them to generate more than a handful of calls from science journalists looking to file a brief story. Much to our surprise, the findings went viral.
Many years ago, a supercomputer designed a perfectly shaped chip, Pringles, knowing one day gamers would need less mess to help them stay in the game.
What's the daisy?
Pringles, mind-popping.
Tonight, baby, can't you see that this ain't gon' go right? 'Cause you can't let go, but I can't hold on like this. So you can't let go, 'cause I can't go on like this.
The first game of this best of 3 series goes the way of Entity here against Tundra. You're watching DreamLeague Season 18 powered by Intel, and this series is incredibly important. Both teams are 3-1 in the score so far. And I would imagine maybe when you asked people beforehand, they thought that Tundra was going to take this one. And even with the overall last pick Necrophos, we thought it was a very good answer to what Entity had brought to the table. But Entity just showed up and played better today. I mean, you can point at drafts, you can point at maybe mistakes here and there, but overall, I think the general picture that we got painted here in Game 1T, Entity plays better.
Yeah, just extremely fluid, and also they just had no fear in what was happening, right? When things are getting slightly aggressive in regards to, say, Necro Tiny, you're not seeing Stormstomper suddenly over-rotate the map, you know, AFK in the jungle. Like, he's playing this perfect amount of farm the small camp, bide his time, keep up with the net worth, not ever put himself in a bad position. And then I think just the early to mid-game Fishman plus Katayomi combo, this Clockwork and Wyvern, these clutch curses, the Age of Steel with Clockwork, just all the small players just amplifies the cause. Having these great games, it just feels so much better because every single player on the team is just like overperforming on their heroes.
Really?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, so I've been casting a lot of NA. I've been on the NA shift up until this week because, you know, Lacosta's out. He got kicked. He's good now. He's on vacation.
Fired.
He's gone forever.
Sorry.
But so I have not had the luxury of being able to the privilege of being able to watch this team. And I expected, it's like, oh, you know, Crystallized is out. They get Pure. Pure improves this roster to the degree where they're not just that bottom 3 team. Like, this Pure guy must be extremely good, right? And watching, it's like, I was very impressed by the way that he played. Like, I felt like he destroyed the lane, for one, and then he shows up to every fight that he has to as a carry without just relentlessly, you know, doing it in a way where, like, he's not farming at the same time. Like, he showed up. But with that being said, like, he was not even the MVP of this game. Like, the old Entity players all look like, for whatever reason, they've
stepped up.
They've leveled up. Like, Fishman with all of these hooks, like, it felt like Tundra could not ever split push or split farm, which is what they needed to do to get back into the game. Toby with the clutch black holes, and like you were mentioning, like, playing a lot around the Malefice and in the Vessel. Yeah, this hook was just like, literally, I think Owen was saying, like, can they split push to get back in the game? And Fog's like, well, yeah, they kind of have to, but then we just watched that. It's like
they cannot.
It felt like every single time Tundra had some opening into the game, Entity knew that was an opening, and they were ready for it.
Yep.
They made that one mistake mid lane.
They did. We had the Necrophos overall last pick, and it was picked to counter the Tiny, and that was our mid matchup, and we're choosing those for our player versus player for Aces Predator. After laning stage, Necrophos was top of net worth. He was doing very well for himself, won the lane, and then at the end of the game, Stormer. He just popped off.
Guy's
Look
MVP.
at that difference.
He's
in net
100%
worth.
MVP.
Yeah.
The fact that you're a mid Tiny against Necrophos, a lot of Tiny players already in this division, even in other regions where they're mid, they get Blink, they get Echo, BKB, they fall off a little bit and farm.
Yeah.
Like, it is hard for them to even stay in top 3 net worth. The fact that Stormer had a difficult lane in a bad market, in a losing matchup against the Necrophos of 9, but then was able to just play with his team. I think that's the main thing. Entity, they just play with each other's heroes perfectly because the synergies, like this offlane Enigma, you're not playing on Black Hole, you're playing on your Midnight Pulse, your Vessel, and then Tiny, you're getting the initiation of Clockwork, so Tiny gets to see the entire fight and gets to initiate perfectly after.
And there were pairings of, like, every single hero too for Entity where, like, they use one TP to, like, go top lane, get a kill there, but then all of a sudden, like, Pure as a carry, like, TPs toward bot and then helps somebody, like, get a kill down there. Like, the crazy thing about this game is that were so few mistakes from the side of Entity that we can literally point out the one that they made.
The tier 2 little fight,
it was actually just one. That's it.
That was it. It does mean that Tundra, they gotta do something to try and force out a win here in game number 2 if they want to have a shot at taking this series. We're gonna go to a quick break. When we're back, it's drafting time for Tundra Entity game 2.
Have you heard the one about the immortal Lord of Dreams?
So he gets imprisoned by this cult, right?
Right.
And he has to cross Earth and heaven and hell.
Have you heard the one about power couples?
In love, friendship, and business?
With Idris and Sabrina Elba.
They're total couple goals.
Have you heard the one about how, through the whole of human history,
Queer life always finds a way.
A supercomputer designed Pringles, the less mess snack, to help you stay in the game. Mind-popping.
Mini boss, no le tipo todo para tú.
I get it, but I need a good night's sleep, so get out.
Oh.
Fine, because you had a nightmare.
Terima kasih. Scusa, Amy, para ta vida al Lima Pampoleo?
Oh, really? You too.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Yes. Good night.
Good night.
Minions, The Rise of Gru.
I just want to get some sleep.
4 enforcement officers, 3 detectives, 2 evidence officers, and me, Officer Burbeck, who found the evidence that helped convict a major drugs gang. Be one of 20,000 new officers. Be the difference.
Image is what we get lost in. Truth is the superpower we escape with.
Adidas x Gucci.
Be young heartbeat, 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 be young heartbeat. Change your mind, bring heart back. Change your mind, bring heart back. Change your mind, change your mind, change your mind, bring your heart back. 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 Change your mind, bring your heart back.
It's time for game number 2 here between Entity and Tundra. First game taken with very convincing play by Entity, and the question is, what does Tundra do now? How do you come back from a game like that where the draft was not the problem? You just have to play better. That sounds so simple. We're going to see what they're going to do in game number 2. And for this game, I'm joined by Jenkins and Tigov, who tried to do a nice bit, but they failed.
No, we were just
back.
talking shop in the tent again. Sorry.
The walk of shame with the pig. And what do you do? You're Entity. You know you got outplayed. It wasn't the draft. Where do you go from there?
Yeah, I think Tundra, they... You have to respect the speed.
You speed draft, that's what you do.
No, I think first of all, Entity is the type of team that's very quick at playing a very stable laning phase into finding that earlier timing and utilizing it really well. Tundra, in this type of lineup, it's like kind of that slow burning build up, build. You get to like 15, 20 minutes, you turn the switch and then you go, right? You fight for Roshan, you fight. So I think maybe for Tundra, they lean more defensively with their lineup, allow Entity to run at them, but then win the fights and react. Or B, you match them with the aggression. You go fight for fight. That's probably the 2 options that you have.
I thought they could go fight for fight last game though. In the early game, like with Bristle especially.
They did just get picked off a couple times.
They did. They
spots, right?
Yeah, but this like Beastmaster, I mean does let them do that. This is, one of the most active heroes in the game that you don't really lose lanes with Beast now that people are doing the max Axes build. It's like either like Axes are bad and you go for Boar, or Boar is bad, you go for Axes. It like doesn't really seem like there's, other than Sniper, which I hate that I'm actually saying that unironically, but
they ban it, yeah.
That's the year that we live in. Sniper's the one hero that seems to actually beat the Beastmaster in lane, whether or not you go for either build.
Yeah, they of course do indeed ban out that Sniper. Tundra this time around picks up Beastmaster in first phase. That hero was completely ignored, surprisingly, in the previous game. But we have seen 33 be very successful with it. They also get the Winter Wyvern on their side this time around, which is a hero we've seen do very well over the last week or so.
Yeah, it's just one of the best supports right now in the patch. It replicates that in regards to like pub win rate. I think it's the best support in high-level pro pubs at least.
Yeah.
And it's incredible win rate in DPC as well. But for here, it's a reaction to like this Dawnbreaker, right? If Dawnbreaker's in the side lane, you put the Winter Wyvern there. Level 2, you get Cold Embrace. You heal up the hero, they're getting jumped. You fully remove all that damage, and then you get to continue playing the lane. I think there's the value of this early Cold Embrace into then the later portions of the Splinter Blast plus Ultimate. It's a very versatile hero, and people often think it's a weak laning, but it really isn't.
Not anymore. No. Yeah, not anymore. Like it's way easier to hit the Splinter now with the speed, and the uptime on the Q is incredible. Like it's also really easy to sit and hold a lane compared to before, because for those 2 exact same reasons. Like your nuke comes out way quicker to clear creep waves, and you're just flying through the trees for those 2 extra seconds. It got buffed.
I like the bans from Entity here. They've obviously shown the puck very early on, and they're just fully respecting Tundra in regards to the mid-Kotl. You do the Orchid Rush. You, of course, Tiny is a very good matchup to puck, being a melee hero, and a little bit of respect towards 33's Night Stalker. We haven't seen that as a counter to puck in the last couple of weeks at least, but that quick BKB style hero, blink on top with the silence, it forces puck to have to go for like a BKB. You don't want to buy it. Yeah, a lot of respect towards Tundra in these 3 bans.
That's good to see. The homework has definitely been done. They'll pick up the Doom on the side of Tundra.
Yeah, could be just the 4 Doom, Beastmaster off lane. Tundra is one of those teams that love just to keep skipping the wave, play double melee off lane. Yep. They don't care too much about having a we need to play the lane star mentality in their off lane duo.
Yeah, I remember when Aoi was on Arkosh, he would really, for the week that he was on there, would really preach that like the off lane is the lane you can kind of throw anything into because it's the one lane that you can. I mean, mid used to be like this too, but then they fixed it. But off lane you can just cut the wave, right? So like technically you can throw anything into that lane and do fine and just pick for the game. And so it doesn't surprise me if that is his influence on this style.
I remember in the interview that we had with I think it was maybe Stormstormer last week, but Fishman, of course, one of the best clockworks.
Holy shit, that's a first. That is literally a first, right?
Is it a carry?
I mean,
he looks very happy.
It looks like it's a carry.
Okay.
Carry OD. I mean, okay, so first of all, we have Clockwork, which is Fishman's best hero. He's been playing it, I think, like 80% of the games we've played so far. One of the most aggressive supports.
Clock OD sounds dope.
You play any ranged hero, and it's going to feel good, right?
5 seconds.
So yeah, I guess it's the same principle like Clock Sniper, Clock OD.
Yeah.
Gonna be annoying.
I'm curious to see the build. I mean, even if it's
Kneecam.
Kneecam,
that's
bingo.
right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. I think you got your bingo. You're gonna go to your bingo. I see. She's leaving.
I think this might be just like the Witchblade style of OD, right? You play more on just right click, eventual hex.
Yeah, I like that. Or like I've also seen Midas as a pickup. People go for Midas, you get that attack speed. Also a way to actually farm in the hero. We've seen the Ags rush as well.
So in regards to pubs, Pure has played quite a lot of OD, and
they actually go for the Grim. So mid Wyvern maybe.
Oh god, he's actually played a lot of. Oh my god, he's played like 11 OD games in carry recently. Wow. In the last 8 days. And it's been like Treads, Midas, BKB, Blink, Hex.
Oh,
has he been winning?
Yeah, he's got like 8 wins, 3
Yeah, he's winning. He's high. That's a high win rate.
Not bad.
Yeah, so some games it's Midas into just Blink, BKB, Hex. Some games it's a Witchblade. Yeah,
I mean,
really
Matt,
varies,
you have the OD Imprisoned for Roar, for Curse, and for Doom. Like that sounds incredible. And with the Ag Shard too, like you can walk away from the Doom while imprisoned. That's pretty.
And one of the weaknesses of OD in general is higher pace getting on top of you style lineups. And I feel like Dawnbreaker, because it's so OP right now, you can kind of cover that. Like you jump on, finally you get this catch. Dawn just use a Solar Guardian, right? It's like so hard to play these drafts out. But I feel like the early BKB, once again, it's like a Doom BKB, the Helmet Overlord and Beastmaster, a carry that can just jump and be super tanky as well. Because once OD needs a good laning phase, farm, 2-3 items, you're having a really good time, right? You don't pick up Witchblade and just pop off. You don't just pick up the blink and pop off, right? You need that.
It's like a 3-item hero.
It's a 3-item hero for sure. So there is a window in which Tundra can find a carry. That's why you see Entity banning like a CK, like Armlet.
That's a one-item.
That's a one-item hero, yeah.
It is also Tundra. Skeeter himself said, yeah, nobody's banning the CK. All I play is CK. I don't know why nobody's banning the CK, so. Oh, wow, that is quite the camera shot. Go back, grab your bingo card. I think there's one on there.
I already got that one. It's in the same camera angle. It's all good. All right, Faceless Void will be the last band coming out from Entity. They're expecting still a Skeeter hero to come out. Is there anything in particular that you would want to do against an Outworld Destroyer that's like good?
Just overwhelming in the early to mid game. Just don't allow the fluidity of Entity's play where you just generate economy everywhere. But you also have to respect that this Clock OD lane will be super hard to pressure the OD just because of the Clock. Clock will soak up a lot of this damage. Even if you kill Clock a couple times, OD's going to passively farm. And if he does go for the Midas build, it will be quite quick.
I can tell you, this OD will be getting doomed.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about that.
If the OD gets doomed, Dawnbreaker is going to come in and save him.
And Puck's going to pop off. Like, the lack of
I still think you have no choice. Like,
That's why they're going to try for the double doom, right?
That's exactly why they're going for the the double dooms. That way, it's like if you can, I think even if you don't get the puck plus OD, like OD plus 1, puck plus 1, that's always going to be an advantage in a team fight. It might even be nice for Entity to pick something that is like good at kiting the Doom other than just the Dawnbreaker. Like maybe some like Oracle type hero, but then they've got the 5 clock. Oh, it's 2 5s.
Is there a scenario where you use like a Spectre carry for Tundra? We saw it in Div 2, where EU rejects, of course, they are not on 5. They did win a game though, and it kind of looked very good and very aggressive. And when you look at Entity's lineup, getting vision of the puck, clockwork, OD, etc., you jump on top, it can be enough just to prevent just the nice kind of game that you want from the OD.
Well, they banned the Skywrath mage. So Tundra is aware that this OD will most likely be a hero for Pure this game.
Yeah.
That's a good sign, at least. Question is, are they ready to deal with
10
it?
seconds remaining.
Sky would have been a good pick. This is another combo we've seen a lot, is the Sky Clock. 2 supports that could just run around together and kill anybody between the magic damage they both have.
Yeah, also pushes the Dawn potentially being the 3 or the 4, so they're very much just respecting that. It could be Dawn 4, Viper off lane, Sky into 4, Dawn.
Yeah, there's a lot of,
there's a lot of questions, and Toby's hero pool is somewhat removed right now in regards to Lycan's out, Enigma's out, Viper's out. I think I would prefer a Dawn core in this game, just because the scaling, getting the shard, the deso, like the BKB, being able to be in the middle of the fight with your clockwork, giving more time for Puck and OD to choose the fights feels
looks
better.
pretty good in this game. Yeah, it looks good.
Like the support Dawn, you play way more passive. Like you AFK.
You can kill Wyvern and Grim too quite easily with the core.
By a blink
on. Yeah, you blink while you're pressing your Q and kill both of these heroes.
But on the flip side for Kataomi, went to Wyvern. Or he picked. Okay, they just go back.
That's the Toby Venno.
Toby Venno,
yes. All right, why did they go for the Toby Venno in this game in particular?
Just about constant pressure, and Venno's a hero that just absorbs a lot of time and energy from your opponent. There opens up the map a bit more to farm.
There is no Venno answer right now for Tundra.
I still like Spectre though for Tundra. Like even though the lane's really bad and like the pace of the game will be weird, I think this eventual timing of fighting in the mid 25-minute mark will feel really good. It's just, is Tundra confident enough that they can push out waves and not lose all the other lanes to give Spectre a game? Like it is a very low rated tier.
So they need a Skeeter hero.
Yeah,
that is good against OD and Venno, preferably, as we see some push-ups being done.
Jesus. Who's that lad?
Don't tucker yourself out.
Stormstormer.
Oh my god, that was Stormstormer.
Yep.
Jesus. That's why he carried the last game. He's
He's in a hand if he wins the series,
Yeah, Skeeter does not have the deepest hero pool as of late.
I mean... Okay, goes
with the judge. Okay, so that is a Venno counter.
Sure.
And so it's magic immunity versus OD, and people are going for this like spin shard build, which will do very well against OD. So that's a good pick.
Yeah, it can get on top of the OD for sure. And at least laning wise, there are some scenarios where there's Grim Jug. If Venno's out of position, just kill him a couple times. You now have this 0-3 Venno that doesn't get to pressure too much.
Oh yeah.
You can quickly TP to the enemy lane. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see, because Tundra's lineup this time, it's all about the simplicity of moving from lane to lane. We get to see the mid Wyvern again. Like, they dictate a lot of the earlier siege, but that siege is always going to be met with the Venno or the Puck or the Dawn counterplaying them. And it's is Tundra setting themselves up correctly to not fall victim to what is a very heavily meta-driven lineup of Entity in regards to just react and don't be offensive.
I think we're going to go to a game 3 for this series.
Yeah, I like Tundra.
I actually really like their Tundra's draft this game. I think they're the ones that are going to control the pace of this one.
The Winter Wyvern mid, you believe in it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, 9 Winter Wyvern, it's a classic.
It is a classic.
We should have known it.
But maybe it's too much of a classic, you know, in with the
in with the new, out with the old. Yeah, right.
It's gone great, yes.
We've only had 2 OD games across all regions, all divisions in top 3 so far. So
what is the win rate?
50%.
1-1. All right.
Simply 2 based from North America won, and Team Secret lost.
Okay, well, let's see. This one was going to be the game that will decide whether OD will be picked more or maybe less. We're finding out if it works out for Entity and gets them a 2-0. If Tundra will force out a third game. We're heading over to OD Pixel and Fogged over there.
Thank you, Steve, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Game 2 of Tundra versus Entity, and indeed, that OD pick definitely going to be the focus of this game. So Pure on it, as we've looked up, you know, he's been playing it in his pubs. It's something that he likes playing. Clearly, we saw the smiles, obviously, when it was picked up for him during this draft.
Yep.
But honestly, you know, to a scrub like me, Fog, I'm looking at this, and I feel this is not going to be an easy game for an OD. There's a lot of spells, a lot of heroes that are going to have something to say about him.
Could definitely be a bit complicated, because they have a lot of these BKB piercing things too, right? With the Doom, with the Omni Slash, with the Roar, a lot of ways to get on top of him. But easy stuns is not there for Tundra. Again, last game they only had the Rubik to really be that like controlling hero. They're very ulti reliant on Tundra.
Okay.
And Entity, they still have this pretty comfortable draft. Sure, the OD's a little different, and you know, we've seen it in pubs, but not so much in pro. It's a little different. They still have Fishman on his absolute best hero. You know, his Clockwork and his Bane have been spectacular. And speaking of Fishman,
and he wants to start off the action here. Skeeter, well, be forced to use the Blade Fury to hold his position here. They won't be able to chase.
Okay. And again, looking at items, anything out of the ordinary. No, Tundra's just going for the double headdresses, as they've done pretty much every single time. And yeah, Entity, very standard kind of items across the board.
Yeah. One thing that does feel very good for Tundra right this game was that last pick. You know, Skeeter on the Juggernaut.
It feels great.
That's a great carry to get through in the final position when you're against this sort of lineup from Entity.
You have a kill threat in the top lane constantly versus Veno. The one thing is, though, Veno, it is, of course, like Jug has this good matchup, but I can never count out these Venos where a lot about these Jugs is playing around Healing Ward. And Veno is one of the best heroes at sniping the Healing Ward. You know, you just put down this Veno Ward and you just click and boom, there you go. It's gone in most of the fights. So we'll definitely have to keep eyes for that. And also, they wanted a Spirit Vessel carrier. You know, they're playing versus the Wyvern. Sure, it's not a healing Wyvern, but either way, having Vessel versus Doom, Beastmaster, Wyvern, it's going to be strong.
And watching this mid as well, I mean, as you were sort of staying in the draft to me, you know, it has ended up being 9 on the Wyvern. But especially as well, considering how good Storm's play was last game, on the puck, he should be able to have something to say about this Wyvern, right?
He should be able to come out ahead of in this matchup, because he can also farm the small cap that was not blocked top.
Skeeter's going to take quite a bit of a punch here from Katsuomi.
He actually has to use the nuke backwards. Thinking wanted to go for the kill on Toby, but has to potentially save Skeeter. Super aggressive moves coming on this lane.
Great damage here from Katsuomi onto the two of them.
Lots of consumables going to be used in this top lane. And bottom, I imagine bottom's going to turn into some more creep-pulling shenanigans, as Tundra ideally does not want to lane straight up versus an OD with these two melee heroes.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what Pure does with his build, because as you say, well, in some of his pubs, he has been getting away with the Midas.
Yes.
Surely there's no way he gets away with being able to farm the Midas this game.
Hey, he's versus the Beastmaster, though. You know, he could be thinking about the Midas thing of that helmet. I mean, it's a chance, but I think there's more standard build that he's done most of the games. Just Treads, Dragonlance, BKB, you get that early immunity. But this game, you know, there could be difference, because he is playing versus a lot of those magic immunity piercers.
And once again, you know, this game, Tundra will be
up top. Toby. This time they'll get him.
Yeah, Blade Fury with that Ink Swell, of course, Jug Grim, a fantastic combo to play in the lane.
And not too much Katomi can do to kind of stop them. I think they might have to even do what Tundra does constantly about pulling waves, because this lane, it already looks like it's going to be pretty successful for Skeeter. And Toby could just get the risk of like TPing back up and dying immediately, because Spin's going to be back up. So they have to be a bit careful how they play the lane. So far, they're actually just going to be... Okay, so Saksa, he did get the chain lightning creep, so I guess they're going to play the lane for the time being. Able to secure the range creeps with that nuke.
I mean, can they sort of die to this OD clock duo? What do you think they've...
Yeah, they can.
They can
They definitely... I mean, they're tanky, but, you know, the damage that Pure does dish out, of course, that Pure damage, Arcane Orb, it's going to be pretty effective if they're able to get the grab on them with some nice cogs and battery assault on them. Probably around level 3, I would say, is when the lane becomes a little bit harder, a good amount harder for Tundra. But so far, not too bad.
Top lane.
Top again.
We'll look for another move here with the Blade Fury. This time won't be quite enough to take down Toby.
Yeah, like Toby's gone for just like stats, right? On top of the upgraded wand, he has the double circlet that he built early on, just wants to be able to tank up versus that big burst that comes out from Spin and potentially get the turnaround afterwards. But he is definitely struggling on last hits. To be expected versus a Jug as a Veno.
Yeah, definitely the toughest lane out of the map we're seeing so far here for Entity top.
That's the point of the Veno, though. You know, you're just annoying. You don't really crush any... I mean, you crush some lanes, like versus like the Ursas and stuff like that, but this Grim Jug is an excellent solution.
I mean, how long will we... Bottom lane? Fishman?
Bottom and top actually going on.
With the stick charges, Fishman can keep going here onto Saxa. Top, they've got the connection, but Skeeter ready to answer it completely with the Blade Fury. In fact, with that nuke hit, he's a couple more hits, he's going to get it. Be able to take down Katomi, but Toby, more stick charges for Skeeter. Should save him here. The Poison Touch won't be enough tick damage to kill him, so they get the kill.
Ooh.
They keep their carry alive.
I mean, maybe a bit of a slip up for the first time. You know, Katomi, he tends to be, for me, like one of the star players on this team. Entity, he didn't get the turnaround to get the Starbreaker off. If he even gets like one tap, they get the kill there. Now though, Snaking, he steps up way too far. He's definitely dead.
That's extremely dead. Okay. I was like, Katomi left the kill for Toby to take, but then Toby was like, yeah, just wait a minute, I've got to get some CS first.
That was pretty interesting how it all happens. And Skeeter's now pulling, so it's just like this big switch around as Saxa. So we said that Clockwork level 3.
They'll get him.
I mean, it's 3 also.
Yeah, they'll be able to hold him back with the Astral, but yeah, Fishman a little too low to run back in on this one, so they'll settle with the 1 kill, but already indeed showing the potential here between the two of them to take down heroes on the bottom lane.
Yeah, even though there's the boar that we see there to try to split some of the damage, Battery Salt, it's good versus these these creeps now, of course, being double damage. How much regen do they have down here? Not the most, though, on Entity. So this constant spam, it's adding up. The axes plus the spam from the Chain Lightning. Pure is getting quite low.
That's just got a fresh set of tangos out by Leader. A lot of damage from Saxa.
Ooh, it looks like 9 might be able to make a rotation down here.
See if they can dive. They might be able to dive in. Gets the setup with the curse. He'll have a good shot at it. See them go in for Fishman. They'll get the Clockwork. See if Pure's able to stay alive. He's hiding behind the tower.
He TP's to mid. That's some cool communication coming out from Entity. Stormstormer's like, I'm going back to base. Pure, you try to take the mid lane, but he actually can't. He's gonna have to just walk all the way back to bottom because the Wyvern shows up to mid.
Top lane Skeeter. He's gonna want to dive. Oh, they missed the Gale.
Oh, man.
Misses the Gale there, so Skeeter's able to keep on moving in and take the kill.
Big
Back down bottom, Stormstormer came in with the rotation. Drops the Dream Coil down. I'll take Saxa out of this.
Stormstormer's having an excellent game, though, as we see. Bit better than the mid matchup that he's been versus the Wyvern, being able to farm small camp and stuff. And just overall better matchup, the Puck versus the Wyvern. But 9, still also doing, I mean, he's still just doing just fine. And does get the power rune. So Haste Rune, if he'd like to go apply some pressure on those side lanes. Especially because Toby just died, you know. This could be another situation where Toby, TP on cooldown. They see a moment. That's a scary lane.
I mean, and overall this game, you know, last time round it was very clear that, you know, Tundra, they had to win it, you know, fast and early. This time for both teams, what's for the trajectory for the lineups?
It feels overall like Tundra scales incredibly well as the game goes on, right? They're going to have this mid-Wyvern that goes for like the Witchblade Ags that's always going to be good throughout all of the game. And they just have multiple forms of BKB disable. And like the Grim Doom, Grim Beast, it's always going to have these, you know, ways to lock down or just shut down an OD. If they just focus everything onto Pure, it's going to be all up to Stormstormer to kind of carry as this Puck, which could be quite difficult, especially playing into the Silence and the Doom if it's also somehow gets onto him.
And top lane Skeeter has got the Omni Slash. So he'll be ready to look for opportunities.
Tundra has to be careful of one of the anti-synergies, of course. The Grim plus the Wyvern. That's one of the my favorite combos to watch, of course, when people mess it up. Katomi.
He's going to get TP back up. Skeeter, does he want to stick around for this? He does. Pops the Omni Slash, and we'll get some good few bounces over to Stormstormer. The Stormstormer will drag him in deeper, and of course with the Blade Fury already used, there's nothing for Skeeter to save himself with.
Hell of a start for Stormstormer.
My mechanism is broken.
But because of that TP rotation, he's not able to get another power rune, right? So 9 takes advantage of that, quickly walks up top and takes up another one.
Yeah, they did have to bring him up there, though.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way you're letting Skeeter get away with that sort of Omni Slash that close to the tower.
Katomi does the nice move, though. Comes in mid, refills the bottle. 9. Going for a solo kill.
See if we've got enough damage here with the Splinter Blast. It's close, but not quite enough.
And they're going to fill the bottle again. Keep Stormstormer healthy to stay on the map and stay making aggressive moves. Bottom, though, Pure has been knocked out of the lane. Sox as well as 33 with the Dominator finished.
Yeah, I mean, 33 is going to start taking over this half of the map now.
Sure is.
With that sort of start, Beastmaster top, second highest net worth, top for the team. And 33 is going to be very happy with the way that this has begun.
And I'm going to have to see what the OD is really going to bring to the table, because a hero that's not picked very often and can definitely be susceptible to just get run down from these heroes that Tundra has set themselves up with. Yeah, Toby, he's having a very rough time as this Veno versus Jug lane.
Trying to kill the 33's Centaur, but not quite having the damage and control to do that.
Nope. Now 33, he just jungles a bit. Saksa, he's going to pull the wave back bottom so that he can get his levels on the Doom. Yeah, pretty damn good start so far for Tundra. I think you'll be very happy with your Beastmaster, your off lane being able to get this much versus this annoying Clockwork plus ranged hero that we've seen dominate versus a lot of lanes this time. Doing quite well.
And so far, no reason for Tundra to really be concerned with what Pure is going to be able to bring as the OD.
No.
Still sort of hard to imagine what this OD is going to be able to do.
Body blocks. They've got the slow. But Fishman will be okay. I like this positioning from Stormstormer as well, too. Like, he's not playing the mid lane, but he's staying kind of close to top because he knows Toby's struggling a bit, so if they make this aggressive play, he's likely to be able to turn onto them. But now, maybe pushing the limit too hard.
Drop the Dream Coil down. With that Ink Swell on top of him, indeed, he's dead. Tundra very easily dealing with Stormstormer heading up the river.
Snaking in the right place at the right time with 9. And now they have a catapult wave mid. They can actually apply pressure onto the mid lane. Glyph to stall the push a little bit. But not great ways to react to this push. Without the puck, like, nobody can really turn up. They even have the... I like this micro. The Hellbear Smasher comes in also to tank some of the damage here to keep that catapult alive. Yeah, they're even going to have to bring the Dawn in as well to try to clear these creeps.
Stormstormer's back up, so Tundra will respect that. Stay away from the tower for now, but decent amount of damage done there with the first push, already half dead.
It's under attack.
And, 33 just getting all the space in the world down bottom. Going to be very happy here. On all 3 cores, you can see for them on the same page. And for Entity, the bit of a difference being that Toby quite a bit further behind after a rough lane stage.
Yeah, and he's constantly at risk of dying up here, too. The hookshot's gone, too.
He's caught them in the cogs. They have got the Solar Guardian coming in. And they have the damage. Saxa, he'll try and run. And with the battery assault, Fishman takes him out. May lose his life for this one, though, as 9 starts to poke him with the slow. They've got the axes and they've got the chase with the Ink Swell. So they'll find the trade, Tundra.
And they know Solar Guardian's down now, too, so they can look to make aggressive plays anywhere on the map. Did hold the coil, though. Stormstormer was patient. They will have that at least to be able to react to any Tundra moves. Yeah, Skeeter under no pressure, having a full free game. Maelstrom, I believe, is done already. He's in a very happy position, as he's always going to be enabled from his supports, too, this game, by that Grim in particular. And he, of course, has the Beastmaster aura that's going to be really nice for him in the mid-game.
An Entity that very much trying to limit the amount of space that 33 gets down in their jungle. Trying to push him back, keep ward control around this area.
I'm just waiting to know, like, when is Pure gonna be able to show up? He's got his Dragon Lance, treads are ready, but when's this OD gonna be able to do stuff?
It's gonna do something. You got to imagine, right? They felt, as we said on the cameras, they look so confident with this pick, and it's something that he has been winning games with.
I really do feel they're literally just gonna doom and roar him in every single fight that he shows up.
It's like if you just throw one of these ultimates at Pure, he's gonna have a bad time.
Yeah. I mean, even until he has to just wait for BKB too, because if he shows up before that, then the Grimstroke in particular won't be able to address him in most situations. Just a silence. You see the skill build Snaking's going for. He's probably going to put the 3rd point in Phantom for that extra hit. Yeah, we'll have to see. His Tundra, they seem pretty cool. The way that they're playing the map right now, everyone's just kind of farming along. They have a Doom. They have a Jug free farming. I think they know how well they scale in this game too. So now they want to make a move. They do have that Arcane Rune on Tundra too, or on 9 in particular. Might just have to settle for Tomi, who's doing what Dawnbreaker does, taking the risky lane, since you can always ult to join your team. But Entity, looks like they're maybe reading the move. Fishman's gonna be the one who walks into them.
He's gonna go straight in with a hook chop. Get himself on top of Snaking. Snaking will turn, get the ult off. Will die. And Fishman should be cleaned up in return. Ticks down low, and D-Stacks is able to finish him off. Up top, Toby will TP away in time for Skeeter.
Snaking tried to get the grab too. He saw the orb flying on top of himself, so that's why he ults the Clockwork, because in case the puck does jump in, he can get leashed in and they can potentially go for a further kill too. But a nice 1-for-1 trade, the 2 5s.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Pure is able to sneak himself away, so a good job done from Fishman really to tank the gank. Now Skeeter, able to get some tower damage up here.
Oh, he's very happy up there. I mean, now bring in TPs.
Hook shot up in 10. Gonna run him down, Skeeter.
Doesn't feel like an easy
kill. He'll be okay.
Yeah, he's out with the Blade Fury TP in time.
Someone told him, they're like, you have to do it immediately or you're gonna get stopped. So very good read there from Skeeter. Yeah, they're chilling. Like Tundra's very happy. 33, he's about to have his helm done.
Rush it.
No.
As long as we're not losing heroes and our cores are getting farmed, we're fine.
Sox is getting a bit tired of Fishman just breaking all the smokes. I think that's another one that he did break. We'll just throw the Doom onto him.
Yeah, I mean, we also get the Curse over in the mid, as Nine's got the setup. And Axis timed nicely to come in after Curse comes to answer the damage there. They'll drop the Roar as well, make sure they take down Kataomi.
Yeah, they're willing to just throw out these ults.
Absolutely, there's no pressure for them to make moves onto the cores of Entity because they just know that their own cores are doing better right now. So, just taking kills to get handed to them. Keep the space for Skeeter to keep farming. Tundra, they're going to be happy with each minute that passes.
They have just this incredibly massive Beastmaster, as we've seen 33 do a lot of times, just take over the game. He's level 12 already. Helm is done. The upgrade to Helm is done. And yeah, they can set themselves up soon for even like a potential Roche. Like if they get another one of these sets of pickoffs, then they're going to be able to just go into that Roche pit, and will be pretty hard for Entity to actually counteract it.
Yeah,
right now, though, Entity, they might have a moment where they can try to take advantage of Doom being on cooldown, Roar being on cooldown, Curse as well.
Okay.
But it's not easy. Lanes are just constantly being shoved in.
Gonna try here. Fishman, he's in. Immediately, the Omni Slash comes out there. That's Fishman down. Katsumi's in with the Solar Guardian. Looks towards Skeeter, but the Blade Furies are the ready, so Skeeter can get his way back up to the high ground. Snake King will get caught out by the Illusory Orb. So they will manage to find the trade here, Entity. 1-for-1.
Tundra just continue to get more out of the map, though. They don't even have to move the Wyvern. 9 just continues to push bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they're just getting much more. And it feels like Entity, they're trying to get one of these cores, but they just can't. Like, the Jug just spins and flies away. That's why this last pick Jug's been so excellent. 6-1 on Skeeter this time around.
So hard to kill. I mean, it's sort of the window they can set up is what sort of like hook shot into the silence from Puck. Even if they land those 2 spells, they'll need like a 3rd hero around to have the burst to kill him in time. And top lane,
DD Rune.
He's got the damage. Stormstormer's taken out by 9 as soon as he shows in the wave.
A solo kill.
3-0-3. The first pick mid-Wyvern working out fantastically this time round.
He is level 15 now as well. Holy, I mean, that gave him like almost a full level and a half on that solo. He's going to have excellent timing on his Aghanims too. And yeah, waiting to see when Pure is going to be able to
I think we all are. I think everybody is. We're all watching this and we're like, all right, they picked this OD. They've got a plan, but when are we going to see it put into action?
Because I feel like he has BKB done if he disassembles, but he's just going to get roared. He's going to get doomed. Tundra starting to set themselves up around Roche.
So he can look for the jump. The Rocket Flare will stop him from getting the jump. Could have gone a whole lot worse there. Fishman didn't put a stop to his blink initiation.
Yeah, that was clutch.
Yeah. But yeah, all eyes on Pure here.
Try to kill the dragon. As soon as it's about to die, he just takes over another creep, so they can't even get the gold benefit. And immediately, look at the lanes. Like 9 TP's bottom, shoves it back in. They have to kind of answer this on the side of Entity. And Tundra, this time around, they're playing the map as perfect as Entity did the last time around.
Doubts are scanning.
And they're ready to fight also on Tundra. If somebody shows up, especially if the OD, you know he's going to get doomed from Saksa.
Yeah, doomed, roared, whatever they want.
All right, let's see. BKB and Dragonlance are done. Maybe this is, this is the timing that he was trying to go for.
Entity, they've got to come out with a good fight from this movement. If they don't find some sort of positive action, they're looking for Roche.
Okay, maybe try to deny it away. This is pretty clever if they can.
They might not expect this Tundra.
OD kills it very fast.
I don't think Tundra's going to expect this at all. Here we go. All right. Some of the power of the OD here being shown.
This is a really cool move because you're denying the Roche as well away from Tundra, who's, their draft is built around getting an early Roche to push their advantage. Maybe that's what he's waiting for. Maybe that's the BKB Dragonlance and the Aegis timing.
Here we go.
Okay.
The next bit of the plan revealed here for Pure.
Now he can eat the Doom, right? Now he has a chance that he dies, he comes right back, able to join the fight. Maybe. Still looks incredibly difficult for them because 9 is getting some insane item timings this game. All 3 cores, of course, on Tundra. And they also have that Doom 4 who's getting that extra farm from his Devour. Yeah, Aghanim's 1,000 away. That is scary. Even for Stormstormer, just going for those split push plays. If he gets cursed, he's just dead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom tower, tier 2 is starting to die.
33's back on with the pressure down here.
He's also level 15 in the game.
There's the fortification, so he'll be ready to get back in with another push. Entity, they'll TP down.
Tundra, they're in the area. The Hawk also positioned.
Well, Saxface in with the Doom. Further TP's coming in. Some good jukes here from the puck. The heal as well from the Solar Guardian. They may just be able to save him as they turn with the Dawnbreaker, take out Saxa. And indeed, Stormstormer, he'll be able to survive through the Doom.
Can they get more too? Fishman, he's hunting. Rocket up in 5 seconds.
Let's see what he's able to scout here. Oh, Snaking's out already. 33 as well with the TP. He's out in time. They won't be able to find anyone here.
Good read. They do finally get a bit of a comeback, though, on Entity. They do get the little overextension coming out from Saksa. They get a Vessel charge on the Venomancer, which can be really nice also. So they do still have to always be a little careful how far you overextend versus Dawnbreaker. Oh, cool. As a mech. So he's going mech hood into the Ags on the Dawnbreaker. Bit of a different approach, but...
Yeah, that's sort of, like is it actually like a support Dawnbreaker that's building as a support?
Yeah, look at that.
Ready to save his teammates. And there we go, Ags done on 9.
Okay.
And also, moments away from having level 18.
Middle tower is under attack.
He's taking some points in stats, if you didn't notice that too. He only has 2 points in the Cold Embrace. He has 3 points in stats on the Wyvern. So it's all about his own game, since he has that core. And now the smoke, and Toby.
Look at the jump. Straight onto the Venom. It'll get the ultimate off. And the majority of Tundra are able to kite that out rather nicely. They'll buy time in with the Astral. And the illusions will be left upon him and take him down. Fishman as well in trouble with the Arctic burn damage. Brings him down.
Oh, look at Pure. He's just getting poked 9.
I mean, Castlema's not both for them. They're just having to back off from this. He has to put the BKB to have a chance of surviving here. Pure will see Kataomi attempt to TP out. They've got the curse to stop the escape through the BKB. As the Aegis gone, only Stormstorm is alive to his side. I don't think there's any save in this match. As Pure goes down, triple kill for Skeeter. We're still waiting for that plan to come to fruition, folks.
We sure are. That's the first time he showed up. 0-1-1 now for Pure. Immediately just gets cursed and killed. Yeah, this is looking pretty rough. I mean, the Wyvern has hit all the timings perfectly, getting full rune control, another DD as well. 9, he pushes the limits of this hero, and we see why they like to pick it so much for him.
Oh, he's got a DD rune.
Doesn't have the curse, but either way, going to be very annoying for a Stormstormer to get away from.
I mean, he only just had enough mana for the
Oh my god, I think he's going to die.
The Solar Guardian. Oh. He's going to be fine.
1 or 2 more hits and he goes down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, free game for the cores of Tundra. All 3 of them just continue to have this incredible start. Just nothing that can be done, really. Entity just kind of has to watch in most situations and just tank the ganks. But tanking the gank this time around does mean that they lose pretty much everything.
Yeah, of course, this first fight where 9 has his Ags.
Look at this damage.
Just able to just do so much consistent damage from such a safe distance. They just can't get on top of him, and they can't even escape him. Holding onto the curse, ready to have it, to hold him down through the BKB. This fight was just impossible for Entity.
And not really seeing the ways of how the fights are going to get easier at all.
I don't know, yeah. They're coming out with a smoke. But, I mean, the ultimates are up. Curse, Roar, Doom, it's all there for Tundra.
Yeah, Stormstormer's going to try to be building toward a Linken's, but either way, making any aggressive moves onto the chorus just feels so damn hard.
It's Soulbound.
Okay.
That's the double Curse, holding the two of them back. There's the double Roar. They're both dead. Stormstormer and Pure taken out by the combo.
This game is over, Owen.
Yeah.
This game is very over.
Sometimes you try something different, and it just doesn't work.
No.
This was one of those cases.
We don't see the OD too much, but it did feel like in this game, it was fully addressed even when it did come. Tundra playing it to perfection. All three choruses having the time of their lives. And even has now the 20 talent, so you can't move, you cannot run from this Wyvern as if you could before. 52% move slow. Smooth sailing for Tundra now.
Yeah, I think Tundra will feel like they've had a pretty simple game here.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure Skeeter is very happy that he's able to actually hit creeps this game as well, too.
Rather than having, 40 tonight from in the lane instead. We'll see it here, the combo. And on to the two biggest heroes, right? You catch the mid, you catch the carry. And they're just taken out completely. 100-0 there through those ults.
Yeah, Katomi walks in and he's like, here's a mech, guys. I don't know. I'm not sure what else I can do to save you.
Well, we'll see what Entity's got from the high ground defense.
Not even seeing Pure for a second, showing he's probably dead if he does get caught by anything. Fishman, he'll show for a moment, gets killed instantly.
Nine nearly finding Stormstormer there in the trees. Very, very close.
That is a rough one. They really can't even make any aggressive plays because it just keeps getting countered by all of Tundra, who constantly have vision, constantly have lane shoving in, and have this massive advantage at this point. Stormstormer.
I mean,
he's just gone.
We might see the Gs.
I think we might.
We might see the Gs.
And we might never see OD again.
Never. It was, an experiment. And we like seeing the experiment,
yeah.
But this was not a success.
No, I mean, sometimes when we do see the ODs, it is versus like these Timbers or something that you clearly see. This time it's like you saw the Wyvern, but it's a core Wyvern, so he's not even playing on Cold Embrace where you can actually hit anything. Jug, he's Omni-slashing or spinning in most situations, so you're not even able to connect if the fights were, building up when OD's able to ramp up his hits or anything. Yeah. Tough game.
Entity.
They know. Look at Katomi. He's spamming the Starbreaker. They know how impossible this game really has become right after laning phase, really.
Now, what do we got next for Tundra? 15 seconds until potential Roche.
Yep, they're chilling.
Everything to grab that Aegis.
Yep, everything's pretty much up still. Omni Slash was used, but whatever.
Yeah, very hard as we've seen for instance on the map. They're going to try it though. Go for those risky moves here whilst they're 18k down. See if they can catch Tundra by surprise.
Their lanes are all just shoved in though. Bottom, Wyvern's pushing it in. The summons and axes on mid lane. Skeeter almost toying with them there, it feels like, as the Manta. It seems like they know exactly where it is, but...
Tundra's holding the high ground. Stormstormer will be able to get him with the jump silence. They'll get the kill on Snaking, but there's the Roar on Pure. The Solar Guardian Hail not nearly going to be enough to save Pure. As Pure gets taken out, the Doom gets dropped onto Stormstormer. Curse from 9, catches the remaining 3, and there it is. GG is called. Tundra, they'll take this game too. And I think, Fog, this is probably going to be one of the easier games Tundra's going to get to play. This was a bit of a walk in the park for them.
Yeah, it did really feel like it. Glad we get a game 3, though, because first game we saw a kind of masterclass from Entity of how to play the map versus this push lineup. This time around, we saw Tundra with their Beastmaster with 33 able to kind of dominate, with 9 with his Wyvern, and this safe lane top that just, it's very safe, gets the kills, shuts down Toby, and yeah, I mean, at 10 minutes, it really felt like Entity had almost nothing they could do on the map, and we were just waiting to see what the OD was going to be able to do, but he got a Roche, and that was it.
It didn't do a lot. I mean, the supports of Entity, you look at the hero damage, Fishman did 9k, Katsuomi did 9k, Pure on the OD only did 3,000 damage. It didn't work. It didn't work. You know, it's good to see, when you're a team, you're up a game. They're obviously going to be feeling very good after that game on Victory Entity because it was an impressive performance. They just went in, ready to try something different. Probably won't be trying this again, or not at least in this sort of setup, because it really did feel when Pure picked up the OD in the draft that Tundra, they just had so many things that they were going to throw at him. Yeah. And that was exactly the case. They just clicked the OD and he was dead. Yeah, and they were just chilling. They could just chill back and farm, also wait till they hit some of these timings. No pressure onto the cores at all. Yeah, not so smooth sailing this game.
It feels like, the Wyvern might actually become a bit of the hero of this series, too, because as a support, we saw how much Katomi was able to decimate on it. This time now, we see a mid-Wyvern. Could definitely see it come back as a support. Maybe it gets banned. Things are going to have to change.
They certainly are, but there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed getting a Game 3, which is, of course, what I'm sure we're all excited to see between these two teams. Especially, we're going to get some continued innovation in the drafting. I can't wait to see what we get coming out in that third match, as the series now stands 1-1 between Tundra and Entity.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.esogaming.com.
There is no clear path between points, and, statistically, very poor odds of success. Yet, there's no secret. After decades...
Your voice, your passion.
Your background, your neighborhood, your setbacks,
your get-backs.
your eagerness to jump on,
Your determination to never leave on an album.
how you view the world.
And how you aim to change it.
Everything that makes you, you, is what would make you a good teacher. So bring it.
Tied the top of a fantastic week. This is the moment, let's go!
This is a great leap forward. What comes next gives people hope. Let's ensure that all of these sacrifices have not been in vain.
What's the point in saving humanity if we're going to give up our own?
This is an opportunity. Or the end of everything.
Halo. Start your free trial on Paramount Plus.
we are getting a third game to this series as Tundra was able to beat Entity in the second game. We had our question marks maybe a little bit, seeing how OD would work out. It was either going to be amazing or it was going to be not amazing at all. And it was more like the latter. And obviously this this flying wyvern on your screen absolutely popped off. It was a classic, and it's a classic for a reason. Nine's Winter Wyvern wins the game together with the rest of the squad. Tundra looking a lot better than in game number 1. I'm joined by Jenkins and Tigov. And what do you feel like, Tigov, that the main difference maker was indeed this Wyvern mid, setting the tempo?
I think just Tundra's lineup is, it just, when you look at a lineup, it just feels like a perfect draft. The synergies of everyone, you know, the Beastmaster winning its lane, Doom, you naturally just pull waves, you don't have to be an active hero for the lane itself. Winter Wyvern, heavily enabled from the vision of Beastmaster, being able to TP onto the Hawk if needed. And then you have this Grim Jug lane, perfectly destroying a Venomancer. And yeah, just everything felt super good for them, finally. And for Entity, sure, they were all smiles in the draft when they picked the OD, but yeah, they just weren't able to really get anything going their way.
No.
Puck heavily countered, and OD just didn't really have any entry to the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, it felt kind of like a failed experiment. I mean, he had literally no kills.
It was 0-4-1.
0-4-1. So it felt like the lane went pretty well. He farmed okay, but then he just didn't do anything. So it's like I guess it's hard to say like what should change about it, because we just I don't know how this OD hero works as a carry, and it just seems like what's the time to actually do something in a game like that?
And I think it just kind of shows some of the potential weaknesses of Entity in regards to if their offlane duo isn't just popping off, just pressuring in the lane. Like they mentioned it in the cast as well, there's a time where Kataomi, he could have probably got the kill on the Juggernaut if he turned around and used a couple of key spells, but he didn't. Like, you have this Venomancer into Jug lane, like that lane not going well, you don't allow Storm and Pure and all the rest of the guys to play around that aggression that they bring. And I think that might be one of the things that other teams look now when they see this team. It's like, guys, if we can shut down this off lane, go even in the rest, we're naturally always going to have a little bit of an edge over this team.
Yeah, and I guess a problem with the OD too, going back to that, is like, speaking of laning, if you just do like wave cutting shenanigans and play to like 50-50 the lane, and you know, this hero is supposed to be quite a lane dominator, at least historically speaking, with the pure damage, then it's kind of like, you know, the laning's not an advantage you can really take as a safe laner. Mid, sure, like an OD destroying an Ember Spirit or something because you have the pure damage. It's like, you know, Ember's going to go jungle. That feels kind of bad. But you just cut the wave on offlane and you're more than happy. You're more than happy to do that.
Yeah, and it was, we did have a game of classics on the side of Tundra. They played full comfort zone. Like, every single player is on a hero that they're very, very comfortable with. And it showed. The Beastmaster coming out from 33, and got a crazy good win rate on that one so far. And it kind of got out of control real fast. We saw it wasn't too out of left field, the GG call. The GG call was at the moment where it's like, okay, you know what? There's no chance.
I mean, that was the GG after they hit a 2-man bind.
Two-man curse.
Before that, it was like 2-man curse, 2-man roar, like on the important heroes as well.
The two important heroes, exactly. Late game Wyvern feels unbeatable.
Oh, here it is. Let's rewatch it.
Here we have.
But you try and kill the Grimstroke. He's like, no.
I didn't even realize he had the 2-man ink swell as well in the middle of the fight, as if all the other spells are not enough. But man, like Nine, we watched one of those team fights where like the damage is going up and up and up and up. And it's like, it's one of those heroes where late game, it's not like Wyvern is exactly this like crazy damage dealer, you know, like a Terrorblade or something like that. But it's the fact that you can't kill this hero.
You can't stop it clicking.
She's just in the trees clicking.
He's too far away.
Yeah.
He can just fly away. He flies very fast as well. If he does decide to turn around and fly, we saw him escape as well. It's like, he's very fast hero as well. And how are you going to reach him when you're slowed? You know,
you're a Venomancer, like,
you're just not.
Get away from me,
please. Plague Ward. He got you.
Plague Ward, run.
This was Thunder opening with the Winter Wyvern Beastmaster on the draft, and it both of those heroes were incredibly strong. I'm going to find out what they're going to do next game, and you're going to find out as well if you stick with us, because game 3 after the break.
Right now, for the first time in a while, I'm
you feel overwhelmed. You feel resentment toward people for asking for your help. You avoid phone calls and interactions with people you think might ask for something. You make comments about helping people.
Many years ago, a supercomputer designed a perfectly shaped chip, Pringles, knowing one day gamers would need less mess to help them stay in the game.
What's it, Daisy?
Pringles, mind-popping.
Homelander lost his mind.
What's this?
Makes you a soup for 24 hours. You're gonna need it.
The whole point of what we do is that no one should have that kind of power.
We're all we've got. It's up to us.
By the heroes and...
Waves don't carry away my feeling about you. Trains don't go to the place I'm feeling without you. Days fly by and the more I'm thinking that I don't wanna be alone. And I wait for something new. I wait for something new.
In the Western European DPC League, both Tundra and Entity are sitting at a score of 3-1, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice. Whoever wins this upcoming game will be atop of the charts, will be the first team with 4 wins to their name, and therefore you're either going major or you're playing tiebreakers, but pretty likely going to the major. So there's a lot on the line here for this third and deciding game in this best of 3. We've seen both teams win very convincingly in their own styles, and game 3 should be a mashup of both of those styles. And we got Entity on the Radiant side once again. We got Tundra Esports on the Dire side with overall last pick. And once again, I'm joined by Tigov and Jenkins. And Winter Wyvern has been on the winning side every single game so far. And Entity managed to first overall pick it.
Yeah, I think that as I break the set, I apologize. No, I think the funny thing for me in regards to draft is every game, Entity has done a different set of bans. And it's been pick order at the same time, but it's been Zeus Dazzle, Zeus Lycan, and now this time it's Zeus Doom. They really are
That's
kind
not that different. Zeus is...
Yeah, but like the fact that they're changing up that second ban, often in teams, when they're on the same pick order, they'll keep some continuity.
Yeah, it's interesting that Zeus is the hotly contested hero that Entity thinks is just like really OP, or maybe they just don't want to see 9 playing that Zeus. Speaking of 9 though, yeah, like the Wyvern comes out, Block picking that from Tundra. Tundra goes for the other like ranged weird support mid-hero guy, which is the Coddle, and then still with the Beastmaster for 33. So very similar opening from them. And Entity also have very similar opening. They go for the Dawnbreaker again, but instead they snap up the Wyvern.
They do indeed. And they got Wyvern and Dawnbreaker, so that's already a lot of sustain coming out from Entity. As they are now going to focus on some of the bans. They ban out the IO, which, by the way, we have not seen the entire series. We have seen it banned in Game 1, but that's it. So interesting choice for that one.
With the Wyvern, too. That's some respect right there.
Yeah, because IO is supposed to be pretty... Or rather, Wyvern is supposed to be pretty good against IO.
Yeah,
it is.
Hard
but
counter.
In like slower paced games, I feel. But when you have Beastmaster and Coddle on your team, some Coddle mid, already soft countering a potential puck Entity banned out previous game, so maybe they don't pick it this time. That's a high paced game, and if you're relying on Wyvern to curse the IO, but that's not even the thing running at you for the first 15 minutes of the game, you still have to respect it. But no, Tundra very much going to emulate Game 2 in regards to Beastmaster in the offlane, have this Keeper Alight. I would expect it to be mid. You buy bots. If you need to, you buy Orchid. You can still buy Vessel to deal with the Cold Embrace or the Hill from Dawnbreaker. Just super in-your-face style of play. And we mentioned after Game 1, Tundra, they have two options. Match the aggression or go defensive. Game 2, they just went full aggression. And we're seeing it again here, rounded out by the Beastmaster.
I would be a little surprised if Tundra lets Clockwork through again, because Entity has had this in
a lot.
5 out of their last 6 matches.
And it's Fishman always finds these hooks.
Yes,
very
he
good at it.
Yes, he does. And it's, as we saw in the previous game, it's actually pretty good against the Beastmaster. The boar, you dealing 2 times damage to creeps, you can run after the beast summons, and it's like just farming for the Clockwork.
10 seconds remaining.
Tundra as well, probably going to ban out Sniper +1 here, just because they've already first phased their Beastmaster. Keeping that lane pretty good. When 33 does get a free lane, it's so much mapped. Yeah, there's a Sniper ban.
Would have been pretty good against the Coddle too, I feel. Like, Coddle wants to play from a distance. Sniper's like, okay, all right.
I'll play from a distance.
That sounds good
brother.
to me.
Yeah.
I'm literally a sniper. Dazzle ban. This is a... I mean, we knew that this was going to be how the series panned out. With these strange bans and strange picks. Maybe Game 1, not so much, but Game 2, yes, of course. And then Game 3, we're getting to some wild territory here.
Game 1 looked pretty normal for both.
It did, and then an OD came out on the game 2, and it's like, oh, here we go. This is what we expected.
I think Entity, they just understand the amount of resources they'll have to use to shut down this Coddle and Beastmaster, be it jungle invasion for the Coddle, tri-lane, or even having a good, strong, stable lane against the Beastmaster. That opens up the safe lane to be even more potent, and these IO, these Dazzles, they're lane securers, where they just secure so much farm. And now think about Stormstormer's game here. He can't really kill this mid Coddle potentially. He's then going to have to rotate to a side lane. Beast will be taking your tower. If you then lose your tower, can't kill the safe lane, and you can't stop the Coddle jungling, it just opens up for Tundra to hit their stride. So I actually really like these bans from Entity, because they're just respecting the overall big picture play of Tundra, rather than, oh, we need to ban the combo with the Coddle, the laning partners. They're thinking ahead with their draft, which is very good to see.
Yeah, because last game they kind of got ran over because of, team actions rather than like, oh, this sick combo in the laning stage or something like that. It was really like the whole draft of Tundra. So yeah, I agree. This is a good focus for them. Another very team-based strat hero is, Alchemist, making space for him to farm up the jungle. Winter Wyvern, Dawnbreaker, not exactly great at pressuring an Alch.
Did you know that Keeper of the Light is the guy that lit the first sun in the lore? And Phoenix
is a
son. So actually, Keeper of the Light is Phoenix's granddad.
Did you know that Keeper of the Light is actually the horse and not the guy riding it?
That's not true.
It is.
Seconds remaining.
Where's your source?
The guy riding the horse is the light. The horse is the keeper of the light. Wow, they go for it again. Oh, well, then again,
okay.
this could still be Stormstormer.
And we've seen Entity do this where they stick to their guns, win or lose, which we commended them for several times, especially when they were playing up against...
Yeah, there they go again. Speaking of sticking to their guns.
Fishman went to the PC. Please let me click the Clockwork. Thank you.
Yeah. He was like in the bathroom. It's like, hey, what do you want? Clockwork.
Clockwork. Is it banned? Of course not. All right, pick it.
Yeah. No, Entity stuck to their guns when they played against Secret, and they paid off as well. So I'm happy that they do this. It's
10 seconds.
It's a good sign for a team, I think.
It is, but
maybe they'll switch it up though.
If the OD is the carry again, it's going to have the same issues. The laning pressure wasn't really there, and also in regards to the game, a carry OD is locked into, is my BKB available? Can I pump out the damage when it's there? If it's not available, I have to kind of retreat or play a bit more defensive. Beastmaster goes through BKB. Phoenix, you can never really kill, just pop egg. So as a carry OD, I'm already worried about the matchups in that the first 20 minutes of the game.
Coddle gets BKB as well.
Yeah.
Like, hate to say it, but that is the build.
And so OD...
Surely Stormstormer can play OD.
Yeah, I think so. I would. That's what my gut is.
Yeah.
Is leaning towards is that they're rotating this to the.
Do we
to
see
be a
any
mid.
OD? This is the thing. They're flexing a hero that has a 48% win rate in pro pubs. It's picked 3 times now in all regions. It's like an underused hero.
It's
so
very underpicked in pro level pubs too. So the win rate might even go lower if it was picked more.
And I'm waiting to see kind of
or higher
how they're going to utilize it. Because like against these 3 heroes, even if OD was strong, I don't see it being good against these heroes pre-patch. You know, so I'm interested to see how Entity read this OD and how they really bring it into the game.
If the actual Keeper of the Light is the pony, why does the pony not appear on the profile picture?
Well, because Mirana's mount is the picture on the minimap. Why is that the case?
All right, so I have
over shit about Sagan.
I have over 500 mounts for Keeper of the Light. 500, right?
I know.
They're all called Gladys. I have 500 Gladyses for Keeper of the Light. So why is it not like Gladys? Why is Keeper of the Light then? Why is it not named after the horses then?
Well, because the Gladys is the Keeper of the Light.
If anyone wants to buy a Gladys, by the way, at me on Steam.
The monopoly on Gladys.
Selling them for 4 pennies a pop.
Ooh.
Yeah, good deals, good deals.
Big spender over there.
I mean, the stocks of Gladys is way better than crypto right now, so I'm in the green.
We got a Bat Rider banned out for Entity, so they are looking to protect a mid pick somewhere with something. Obviously, we still don't know where this Keeper of the Light is going to go. So far, is there any indication of what we would prefer this Keeper of the Light to be? Would you prefer it to be a mid or a support?
I like it as a mid just because I feel like it's a very value vessel game playing into Dawn and Wyvern.
And into OD. Like OD likes playing a more static mid lane, pressuring on denying or banishing for the range.
Coddle doesn't care
Coddle
at all.
just
but he's
removes
just
all the laning. Yeah.
He nukes the wave, nukes your easy camp, nukes his own easy camp. Yeah. I mean, if it is an OD mid, I think Coddle will dumpster that.
Well, the good news for Tundra is that they are once again overall last pick. So whatever hero is picked up last, they'll be more aware of where this OD will go.
Yeah, a lot of flexibility. They can easily put the Phoenix 4 or 5, Coddle between mid and 4, so they are keeping it very open.
Yep.
And it looks like, Tundra, they're not 100% sure.
I mean, Storm played 1 OD game in the last 8 days, and it was yesterday.
But it's one of his favorite guys.
No, it is. So it's very much like you have to keep the respect of they easily could pivot this hero. And Tundra as well, they're banning out a Lesh, right? I think for Entity, that could have been a cool option where you pick up this Lesh, they've played it carry, played it mid, Entity kind of keeping both of these weirder heroes in tandem, like what's happening in regards to the core role. But they need someone to play around for sure. I feel like they need a hero, a core at least, that runs in first. Dawnbreaker, Wyvern Clock, they're kind of reinitiators. OD plays on the distance of the Dragon Lance or the Banished, so they need a core that wants to get into the middle of the fight.
You got a Puck removed from the pool, was still considered to be one of the stronger heroes so far of this this current patch. We actually saw a first phase picked previous game. And we got an Invoker. That has to be the Stormstormer Invoker. So unless we got a carry Dawn, carry Wyvern, a carry Dawn we've seen in the past, but it looks more likely that we're gonna have a carry OD and the offlane Dawn this game.
But this is a pretty fun concept if OD gets to having 3-4 items, the Invoker amplifying the OD, everything on top. Like Entity's lineup feels cool 30 minutes into the game. How they get there though is the biggest question mark for me in regards to they need Invoker to like keep skipping the waves, proking and prodding with some maybe quads Wex, but Stormstorm's been doing a lot of Exhort recently because of the setups from Dawn or Clock, even the OD to some degree. Yeah, I feel like Tundra, they have the same draft as Game 2, and Entity haven't really changed it.
Entity has a very similar draft,
Exactly,
I guess it's the mid Wyvern that was a big factor in the last game, which obviously Tundra does not have.
Yeah.
But I can't help but think that a mid Coddle will function relatively similarly. Never mind. It's a mid Void Spirit.
Mid Void Spirit, okay.
All right.
Let's hope. Wait, just double check.
Yeah, Pure is going to be playing the OD, and the Stacks will play the Keeper of the Light.
You never know.
You never know with this team. You really don't.
So both of these drafts other than the Outworld Destroyer, are looking pretty normal. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
very
just,
stable.
My thoughts are just that after last game, I'm not super sold on the OD carry. I think that Tundra has a very similar draft that I have no doubt they'll be able to execute after last game, and Entity's draft is also similar. So I'm like, they would have had to have had some crazy motivational speech between Game 2 and Game 3 in order to change the outcome of this game. So I would go Tundra.
All right, I have some stats for you. The Winter Wyvern 100% win rate this series. What do you say to that?
It's about to lose.
Clockwork for Fishman. Incredibly strong hero for him.
50% win rate.
It's a lot harder though. This Fishman Clockwork game, he's playing into a Void Spirit, the Beastmaster, CK. These aren't heroes that you hook onto and go, ha ha, I got them boys killed. No, they kill you.
So. Winter Wyvern was a great counter to CK.
It is.
It is, but the rest of the game, I don't know, there's a lot, like what you're mentioning here, there's a lot of emphasis on Winter Wyvern and Invoker just popping off to unlock everyone else to get into the game.
Were you not watching Game 1?
Did you not watching Game 2?
I'll say if Entity wins this game that's so similar to Game 2, it's extremely impressive.
It is.
In terms of just whatever coaching or talk they had. That's extremely impressive.
Yeah.
But then there's not a lot of faith.
But I would say I think Tundra is going to win.
Yeah, Tundra has just a nice looking draft. Entity have put themselves in position of outperforming themselves, but they've done it before. Can they do it again?
They have done it, yeah.
So.
All right, they've done it before. Entity, will they outplay Tundra, or will Tundra take this third game to the series? We're finding out together with ODPixel and Fogged.
Thank you, Steve. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Game 3 here between Tundra and Entity. And we're getting it. It's exciting here, Fogged. You know, they tried it Game 2.
They did.
The carry OD. It didn't work out. But maybe due to sort of other variables, you know, other heroes on the lineup, what they're against. And they say, you know what? This game, it's going to work. We're going to do it again. It's great to see the confidence. You know, I love experimentation, and it's juicy. You know, when a team gets sort of beaten down and then they come back in and they do it again because they're coming in with a point to prove. Fog. The question is, are they going to be able to do it?
It looks a little better, at least, the OD game, right? He's not going to be, he doesn't have the Grimstroke silence where he can't play the game until he has BKB. He's not versus Doom. He's still versus Beastmaster and some other factors, of course, like Blinding Light, Miss Rate, Fire Spirits that can be annoying and stuff like that. But overall, it looks a little bit better, because I also feel like the offlane isn't just going to be a complete disaster, right? Dawnbreaker and Wyvern versus the CK plus Phoenix, this looks pretty decent. It looks like the Dawn and the Wyvern is going to be able to have a bit of a better game. Last game, it feels like, you know, Katomi's farming on Dawnbreaker, but he's just farming some items, and there is no Venomancer, right? Toby literally had no game. This time, it feels like he should be able to have a bit of a better one. And it's Stormstormer on his Invoker, so they have this secondary carry in a way that will be able to transition. But we'll see. I'm still a bit doubtful, of course, for the OD, and especially with what Tundra has. They have a very safe draft that they're very comfortable with, even the Coddle plus Beastmaster, the Axe spam, and all that. But yeah, let's see. Let's see if the OD is going to be able to do it. Because now he's also amplified. He'll get Alacrity and stuff. Maybe they have the Invoker, who is a traditional counter to CK in the mid game also. Because you know, if he ults ever, you just deafening blast it. You have a lot of different solutions to be able to deal with CK. So yeah, let's see.
The battle begins.
I mean, the mid lane as well, you know, Knight on the Void Spirit. How does this one sort of go between the two of them?
Stormstormer always does excellent.
Yeah, he's an incredibly solid Invoker player.
Yeah, and you can actually do a lot of cool things as an Exort Invoker when you're playing versus these melee heroes. You know, Void Spirit's one of the better ones because you can actually always kill the summon, the Void Spirit that's going to be coming out. You know, with your damage block and everything, you can just commit onto it. But rune control, Invoker can control his own runes, just sending the Void Spirit as well too. So yeah, we'll see. Let's see how bottom goes too, because this time they're not this like double super tanky beef heroes that Fishman did struggle to kind of push away. This time it is a Coddle that he's going to be chasing. Oh, interesting. Sox is starting with a Blightstone. That's new.
Yeah, we'll see who sort of wins the support battle down here. Who's going to be able to get the most done between Saxa and Fishman. But indeed, yeah, Saxa's ready to right-click.
Did they miss the block? Or what's this secondary sentry for? I didn't get to see actually when they placed it down, the sentry near the hard camp. Radiant sentry near the Dire Ancient area. My bad. Whatever, you can see they blocked Ancient because they expect like this Axe and the Beastmaster and this Coddle to be constant. But yeah, this sentry I'm just confused by because it looks like maybe they missed the block that they were initially going for or something. But yeah, this is a very strong pressure lane that they've got on the side of Tundra.
Yeah, you know, last game we saw Skeeter on the jug. He had a fantastic time. On the CK, is he also going to feel pretty comfortable and safe this game, or are there more threats from this time around?
I think more threats than the jug did last time around. The lane can be a little bit problematic too. Dawnbreaker's a very strong hero, and Katomi, we've seen, he's kind of the most impressive Wyvern player for me. Across actually like all regions. I've been really enjoying him. Looking at mid, and 9 is crushing it right now.
He is. 13-6 against the 7-1.
Yeah.
We'll see if things change sort of once Storm's got a couple of levels and the Forge Spirit's a bit better. But until then, yeah, 9 showing up big time here on the first few waves.
Yeah, he's able to, I didn't see if he actually did kill, I was looking at the other lanes, but this is, like I was mentioning, Void Spirit is one of those heroes that you can tank a lot of the damage since you have that absorption, and you have chances to kill Void Spirit constantly.
That's some easy extra CS.
Yep.
Extra gold as well, taking these Forge Spirits down.
Level 4 already. Stormstormer has only 3.5, so a good advantage here for 9 at the moment.
Yeah, of course, not really any heroes that are going to be able to make moves towards that mid and threaten a Void Spirit. 9's going to feel very safe in that area of the map.
Spam in the bottom lane, as we mentioned. The axes, the chakra, constantly refreshing the axes to get more spam too. How much regen do they have? They only have 2 tangos left here for Pure. They are going to be very low. While on 33, he already has his helm. They have extra tangos too, so lane looks like it's going to get pretty difficult for Pure. It looks like all 3 lanes. Under pretty happy.
You can see that for Entity, their supports having to go heavier on the consumable spending. I mean, Pure. Oh my goodness, he's taken out there by those axes.
Hey, he can't farm. In this position, he could just die if he steps up too far.
They're living on the edge here.
Yeah, this is a problem.
He's got Salve coming out in the courier.
But they're going to look to just dive him. The axes,
oh, it hits him as well. He's down to 20 HP.
Even when he salves up, he's not going to be full. Top.
Skeeter will get caught. Entity, they'll manage to find first blood there on the top lane.
As we mentioned, this time around, Toby has a much better matchup. He's not this Veno versus Jug that can get literally nothing. They can actually contest the CK, so a good move by them. And we are seeing, sure, you see 23 and 10 on the Void Spirit, but Stormstormer slowly catching up. They get top.
Yeah, they're able to get in and take down Snaking as well. Didn't initially manage to dive away. You can stay by the infused raindrop, but he'll still go down. Down bottom, Fishman. Should be in trouble there. The axes and the blast. We can set up to bring down 33 in return. They can. Pure will manage to take the kill in return.
9 getting another Forge Spirit. My goodness. How many can we get a tab to see how many he's killed?
He's at least at 3.
I know he's gotten a couple. Yeah, he's gotten 5 already.
Forge Spirits.
He's gonna be level 6 almost, and he's gonna be able to potentially just dive the Invoker when he gets it. Stormstormer having difficulty in this matchup. 9 really pushing his limits.
Top lane Toby. The star breaker, but they'll kite it out with a dive.
Still seeing Skeeter get pressured a bit though. Even though he has that built-in sustain, it is a lot of damage that comes out between the Dawn and this Winter Wyvern.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A consistent spam.
Yep, and the threat of Sunstrike as well too is something you always have to keep in the back of your mind too when you are playing on these side lanes.
I can't help but feel that this looks to be the setup, though, for another game where 33 on the Beastmasters.
He might
probably going to have quite a free time in this area of the map. He's getting perfect farm.
And he's going to get boosted up, too, from Soxa over and over again. They didn't even go back to even check for some stacks. They're just playing the lane. So these sentries that were early placed from Entity kind of were wasted, a bit of wasted gold. And Fishman, he keeps trying to get on top of the Coddle, but as we know, Coddle 320 movement speed. He gets hit by 1 Boar Slow. Clock can't catch up to him without boots. All right, Power Rune. Who's going to get it? Soxa is now trying to stack. Okay, so sentries have now paid off their value. Blocks the first stack of the Ancients. The hard camp will still get stacked up, and yeah, Katomi takes the rune.
See top lane, I mean... That's your bottom there. The blast on Fishman, but the raindrops don't work.
He's fine. They're still getting pretty okay farm for Pure. They've had to spend a good amount on regen, but level 6 already. He's able to trade back nicely.
On top lane, they tried to go in for Skeeter. They did bring him down low. We'll see. Cold Embrace used to try and save Toby, but it's going to only buy time for 9 to TP in and take him out.
Nice TP. And the Sunstrike ended up missing, I believe, on Skeeter too. Otherwise, potentially he did die. But as we see, Stormstormer is catching up very quickly. Almost exactly the same net worth as that Void Spirit. So as the time, as you get those levels on Invoker, he'll be getting minus as well. Pretty soon, he has fully recovered. And soon double Void Spirits, which that starts to be a problem. That's when Void Spirit's kind of like, okay, I don't really want to just sit in the lane. I'm going to need a +1 potentially to get set up onto him. He doesn't have the best heroes to rotate for him either. It's kind of a lot relying on 9 to be able to make moves around the map. Doesn't have the best gankers.
I'll see Fishman head in to check out the triangle again.
Yeah, he's like, okay, they just cleared a stack. Up here. Should just be able to walk away.
And Fishman's getting aggressive.
Sunstrike?
I've got the Sunstrike. It's going to bring Snake King down low. Won't be enough to kill him. And Snake King's fine. Fishman ends up dying for his attempt.
Oh, double sentry placed from Tundra. Bit of a waste there. But expecting what Fishman... He's been doing this all the time as clockwork. Even the earlier game when they were playing versus the Bristleback, he's always scouting, always trying to give information for his team. Yeah, Midas is done. Good Midas game too, versus Beastmaster always. Always be very nice. And yeah, double Force Spirits are now at the ready. So let's see how they enable 9. Right now they're just pumping up with mana. They don't really have, as we mentioned, the best gankers on the 2 supports, but as for enabling their core heroes, Coddle is one of the better ones.
Yeah, some excellent short cooldown spells on. Yeah, which they all 4 of the rest of the heroes to spam.
And just keeping him juiced up too. If he doesn't get a power rune, they just heal. As 9, he's committing. They have a blast.
He's not going to have near enough damage to take down Stormstormer. The TPs were instant. Katsuomi and Fishman turning up to make sure that 9 can't dive for Stormstormer. 9 will try and turn his attention over towards the clock instead. Sunstrike's going to connect. Resident Pulse giving him some protection. Infuse Raindrop as well stays from the Splinter Blast damage. They'll get the kill and they'll get out.
Really pushing the limits on 9 there. It's very close for him just dying to the Sunstrike. Does end up surviving. And Pure, he's kind of just in the jungle now. Doesn't want to lane versus this Beastmaster spam that's coming out. So Aksa will be okay. Katomi will take the bottom lane. We've seen so many times these Wyverns do this, but we've also seen a lot of times, especially a hero like Beastmaster, you cut the trees, you're actually able to find this Wyvern when he gets this deep push going. He might look for a dive here.
It's a bit of a dangerous spot for Katsuomi to be in.
They just really want to zone him off the wave, so he can't Splinter Blast it.
They're going to bring more down here, Entity.
Okay.
Pure and Fishman.
Is under attack.
They just can't catch the speedy Coddle, though.
33 has got Roar, of course, if he wants to try and set up for a kill.
And he has the Tumblers, too, which can catch people off guard a little bit. You tumble and get the Roar off. Pure, it's going to be the same build this time, of course. The Treads into Dragonlance BKB. As we mentioned, it's a better one this game for it, since he's not playing versus both Roar and Doom and Grimstroke.
Yeah, having a much better start this time round.
Dire's middle tower.
And as we mentioned too, the side lanes, they're not getting dumpstered. They're not getting decimated. Dawnbreaker is doing a good job. He's able to actually play his lane. Stormstormer as well. A lot of global threat on the map too. The Sunstrike, the Solar Guardian. So Tundra have to be a little hesitant about some of the times when they look for these very aggressive plays because they can just get turned on.
Yeah, really, really good setup as well for those sort of global moves.
Yeah.
Whether it be the hook shots or the astrals or the curses. They have those ways to start fights when Tundra start to approach. TP's coming down. Stormstormy's going to look for 33. They've caught him in the combo. Cold Snap into the hook shot and the Sunstrike. 33 weren't ready for that one.
That's a nice move. Katomi now getting the level 6 as well too. Stopping the push entirely.
Tower is under attack.
Stormstormer might walk back into a gank though. He's expecting it. He scans. He's got the read. And he's got the backup of Katomi right behind him. And they have the Solar Guardian that they're still hanging on to, as you see up top.
Yeah,
Dawnbreaker's waiting.
It definitely makes it too tricky of a move for Tundra to try and jump Entity under the tier 1.
Midas. It looks like he wants to save it for the creep, potentially. And he will get it, okay. Nicely done by Stormstormer.
Very close to having his bots as well. A nicely farmed start here for the mid-invoker.
9 is coming in behind. They really want to go for this tower, Tundra. 4 heroes.
A finding courier. They'll definitely want more than that. Not the amount of attention they've brought down it. See 9 holding back until he sort of commits here onto Fishman. Stay King will manage to get the supernova off, so he'll be okay. They'll take out Fishman. You kind of want more than that though, Tundra. A little bit of a pause here from Entity.
Maybe something happened with Stormstormer? I'm not sure. It looked like he was kind of like walking away when they were looking for something.
Now the question is, you know, how hard is Tundra going to be able to go?
They're going to dive.
They're going to be diving in.
Oh yeah, right now especially. Sure.
Because there's a Solar Guardian at the ready.
Yep. But they have the roar. They have pretty much everything except for that egg, as we mentioned. That was kind of forced. It was forced. The Clockwork did a good job.
If they do dive in to go for these kills, do you think we'll see Toby jump over with the ultimate?
I think he probably has to, yeah. They don't want to lose Stormstormer down here. He TP'd. Does not have a TP to get out. So, yeah, they might just have to bring everybody. Maybe even call for Pure to TP if Tundra does look for the dive play. We shall see. Because, yeah, they definitely want to go for this dive now. The curse was used.
Yeah, how many steps? Because we got both steps. Yep. 9 did a really good job there, making sure he didn't overcommit his tools to take the kill on Fishman.
And that's kind of the most reliable stun that they have in the game, right? That's the curse in this one. The hookshot and the curse are the 2 most reliable to land onto a Void Spirit. All right, let's see what happens.
Yeah, see how much Tundra can get out of this dive. And Toby with the Solar Guardian can turn things around, maybe get anything going Entity's way.
It might be just scary to fight down here. We'll see how they approach it.
They might just bail out on Katomi, just leave him for dead.
But as you mentioned, Stormstormer doesn't have TP, so he has to like, kind of ghost walk and get out somehow.
That's Katomi gone, and indeed with the axes, they're hunting for him, and with the roar, they'll try and bail him out with the Solar Guardian. See if they can turn this around, Entity. They're in with the cold snap, Sunstrike down on the 33s. After the start, they'll drop the Sanity's Eclipse. Astral here to protect Stormstormer. They're going to be able to keep Stormstormer alive and turn the fight around. It's a double kill for Pure.
Yeah, they called everybody. They're like Stormstormer's telling them. He's like, guys, I have no TP. Please help me.
And they might just get 9 as well. The controls there. A very nice hold there from Entity.
And a way better game already for Pure. He's 3-0-1.
He's picking up the kills. 3-0-1. Yes, a night and day difference here between what he was able to achieve in that game 2 of the series as the carry OD. It's very much looking up and looking like, you know, we're starting to see why they really wanted to bring this carry OD out. There's potential. He's second highest in the net worth.
And he will be buffed up, right? There is an Invoker who's probably going to be alacritying him a lot inside these team fights in the mid-game. And Stormstormer, as we said, he's kind of the secondary carry. So, good response from Entity. Now Tundra, no Solar Guardian. They're like, we need to get this tower. They're probably going to put same emphasis down here with at least 3 heroes. Skeeter quietly has been farming, though. I haven't really touched on the CK too much. One of his best heroes, of course, too. He's able to just sit in the jungle. Almost keep up with that OD. Yeah, but so far I think we're in for a much more even game than the last 2, because the last 2 were pretty one-sided on both departments.
No, for sure, yeah. Game 1, after a certain point, felt like it was completely over. And Game 2, indeed, a little bit earlier in that one, felt like it was GG. But this one, 13 minutes in, absolutely having the potential to swing both ways. And top lane Staxer will show himself. Entity, quick to jump.
An Exort Invoker able to set up these global ganks without Sunstrike. Like, he's TPing into the ganks. Usually it's cost Wex. He's playing very quick with it. Level 12. Having an excellent game as he tends to on these Invokers. Stormstormer is one of the best.
Radiant's bottom tower,
if not the absolute best, honestly. He is very impressive always. And he almost always goes Exort too, which I love to see.
Radiant's bottom tower
for Tundra.
is under attack.
You know, what's sort of the plan do you reckon around Skeeter CK? Is it, arm the Echo and then get him involved, or do they want to continue to sort of just play the farm game on the CK, get Skeeter really big before they're forced to fight?
It's just scary for him to show up, right? Like, as we mentioned, there is some counters he has to deal with. Invoker and Wyvern, 2 of the better ones, and it feels like constantly, like, Entity's always going to have the ultimate advantage of, like, team fights, depending on how the Phoenix plays. And right now, another catch.
Should be another free one here, Staxer.
They might just be able to get a Roche now, too, right? The way that they did last time, the OD can just sneak it if they get a single pick-off. Yeah, this is looking way better. His BKB is done if you'd like to bring it out to in 30 gold. So that will prove a problem, because then he'll be able to actually focus Egg, and the only thing he has to worry about really is the Beastmaster.
And once again, Tundra unlikely to be able to do much about this Roshan. It's Pure. And that timing once again, but obviously this game 3 compared to game 2 in a much different position. He's ahead, and now he's got the BKB and the Aegis. Yeah, well, BKB at 500 gold. It's got to be pretty much there for the next fight. So that next move that Entity make is going to be very difficult for Tundra to deal with.
Yeah, he can even, like, if a fight did come to him, he can disassemble and do all that stuff too. So yeah, he's in an excellent spot. Tundra definitely feel like they're feeling some of that pressure, because I do feel like they want to try to involve Skeeter, but it's just scary for him because he doesn't want to die and slow himself down versus this OD and Invoker.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Does feel like Entity getting a little bit better out of this first 16 minutes here. And yeah, their team fight's just a bit easier to execute too, right? Because they have the counter initiation, they have Katomi, who's been so damn good on his Wyvern, all of his curses always. Yeah, let's see what they can do. Tundra. The Helm of the Overlord is done, so 33 will be able to apply a lot more pressure with this.
Just getting so much more out of the map, it feels. Whether in the 3 lanes, Tundra have to be much more cautious about how they approach the farm.
They're just scared to make the aggressive plays. Right now, they did see Stormstormer sneaking up. They have the Hawk, so they can always play off of this vision advantage. But they have to watch out for Solar Guardian.
Very quick with the Blink and the Ghost Wall.
And his team is coming already. They're going to be able to outnumber Tundra down here.
And they can turn and look for kills themselves if Tundra's not careful there. Entity has got the catch.
Radiant's middle tower.
Tundra bringing more numbers down. But a bit scared. They're a bit hesitant to make the moves, as we see. Yeah, off screen always. Toby at the ready to jump in. So Tundra just always has to have, honestly, they always have to have number advantage, or they will just get that +1 on Entity. Let's see what they can grab. Can they find anything? Entity, they're just farming. They're very content with the state of the game right now. And Fishman just constantly playing around his carry. He'll be the one to tank it, it looks like, but he gets saved.
Yeah, these defensive Astrals meaning that Tundra can't really fully commit, even for the support.
He might still die in those set of axes.
Don't get it, man. They might just try for Pure as well, but he'll put the BKB. Doesn't want to lose his Aegis quite yet.
See what he's doing with his backpack as well, too. He was using Chipped Vest for some time to farm, just to keep the sustain going. Now he's Grove Bow, ready to battle. But a BKB on cooldown, 75 seconds. Tundra might look to take advantage of that.
And they still have Raw.
They do. And they always have this, like we said, vision advantage in a way, too. Just be able to scout. But Fishman, I don't think he's too upset. You know, this is standard Fishman stuff, 0-5, the clockwork. He's always the one tanking the ganks for his team. Kind of the ideal as your 5 position. Now, Katomi also, he has a blink, so they have 2 different ways to follow up to protect. They have the Solar Guardian, and they will probably always have the Wyvern in play to be able to counter any gank that does come out onto those big cores.
Yeah, it does definitely feel much more complicated for Tundra to be able to get the freedom to focus down Pure in the team fight. A lot of ways for Entity to keep that OD safe and just control the team fight.
And you just have to be careful always too, because if you do put too much onto the OD, the Invoker will just destroy you. Let's stop Toby. He has BKB, hanging on to it.
He's gonna get caught in the blast.
Oh my, and he hung on to it too long.
Yeah, didn't quite expect maybe to just get hit that hard during the pull of the Remnant, but he certainly did.
And 9 had just also finished up his Kaya Sanj plus Fairy Trinket, so maybe the damage, just he didn't expect it to really do that much. Now he gets a Vambrace, so even more Spell Amp. Yeah, and Skeeter just farming. He does not want to get involved, as we said. Bottom.
I got the Sunstrike. I got the timing. Stormstormer picks it up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
3-0-3 and with these kills, BKB, it's coming in very shortly.
Both teams seem pretty content, honestly. State of the game. It doesn't seem like either one wants to really force too much. They're both happy with the way that the trades are coming out.
And, you know, of course, in all of this action, we've very much seen a lot of inaction from Skeeter. You know, the CK has been completely out of it, so yet to sort of see how Tundra's lineup sort of rolls in the fight when they have Skeeter getting involved as well. That'll all probably happen at least once he's got the BKB done. Hey, not before that.
It's like we said, though, it's still a scary game for him. He has to just be careful how he plays into this Invoker and the Wyvern in particular. I mean, I feel like he probably just wants to still sit back and farm until he has Blink as well. Level 20 talents too, like later on, like it's gonna be time for Skeeter to want to get involved. Of course, that reality pierces the spell immunity, so you can focus fire the OD.
And who's gonna have, you know, when you sort of take everything into account, who's gonna have an easier time to get, you know, have impact in the team fights between like the carry OD and the carry CK in the late game fights?
It all depends on how they address the backliners and the control. Like if the Beastmaster doesn't get Aurora off, then this OD is just going to be able to pop off.
Oh, lovely Sunstrike here. Well set up for Pure to be able to come in, put a stop to Sax's TP, and take him out in a couple of hits. Another kill for Pure, 5-0-2.
It does feel like the OD might actually have a little bit of an easier time, gotta be honest. Just because there are so many counters for Skeeter. Skeeter's got BKB though. Let's see if they want to make a call to move him. Roar.
Lane. So anything to follow up the roar in time though. Skeeter, he's got the pull back into the Hawk stun. The heal's coming in with a Solar Guardian, but the damage from Skeeter far too much to be offset by Toby, and Toby also has to pop the BKB to run.
Katomi a bit far away to be able to help the Invoker this time. Stormstormer was very deep, and now they're going to lose a secondary. Skeeter finally able to get involved as soon as he finishes BKB.
Absolutely, still showing, of course, how quickly he can take down the single targets when he gets in with the Phantasm. Huge amounts of physical damage.
And great chain stun. Also, of course, the Hawks, the Roar, able to keep Stormstormer in that position away from that Wyvern.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Now they can actually get a little bit more advantage here. 20 seconds, no Invoker. Potentially going to get the mid tower. A huge pickup for Tundra. And a power rune as well. 9. He has another arcane. So he's still looking for another target. And the constant threat of these Hawks, these stuns.
And that, you know, it's going to be quite the big thing as well. It definitely feels that with Entity's lineup, it's going to be a fair bit more difficult to push down towers, right? Sure, you got the Forge Spirits, but outside of that, you're not really taking down towers quickly.
No. You need to get like a pretty successful team wipe or something along those lines to push in comparison. And yeah, I was going to say, I think they need a little more catch also for this Void Spirit, because 9, we mentioned, he doesn't really have too many things he has to deal with. The hook shot and the curse in particular. Saw the Hex was queued up from Stormstormer. I think that's definitely the right approach, because 9 is...
Yeah, I think they're both getting it right. Yeah, Hex on Stormstormer and Pure's item lifts next.
Makes sense. Yeah, I was thinking like Shiva's or the Hex for the OD would be pretty ideal, depending how he feels about the game state.
Skeeter back to farming up his Blink Dagger next.
He's chilling.
I mean, it really does feel that Tundra, with the way that they're playing, they don't seem too concerned. They're very happy as long as Skeeter's getting the space. Feeling that the CK ultimately should be able to carry this.
Especially because he can potentially just start to get to points where he one-shots a lot of these heroes through BKB when he gets the 20 talent.
There we go, Blink done on him. See if they want to go for a sort of smoke play around that. What have we got? Snaking has got the smoke at the ready, roars back up.
Does feel like they can.
Could be a very good time for Tundra to make a move. They get him with sort of the Roar and Skeeter jumping either the same target or another. They should have the opportunity to quickly shred through one of them with the Phantasm at the CK.
All about positioning now at this point, right? Katomi has to be on point with his saves.
Yeah,
if one of the cores do get jumped, or Pure has to be on point to be able to protect in the Invoker or something like that does get grabbed. Because they're going to die so fast. Especially if they don't get the BKBs off, right? Like 9 will just eviscerate them too.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So Pure.
Yeah.
Getting very aggressive.
He's going to head up the wave. We'll see the hook shot to the side, but Skeeter, he's just able to get straight in on top of Pure. And Pure dies in a second to the damage of these Phantasm from Skeeter. They'll also get Fishman to the side and into the trees. They'll find Kataomi, who didn't even get a chance to get in position there. I mean, this is the power of the CK. No, Skeeter with the BKB in the blink. When he presses ult and he jumps in on top of this OD, Pure, he's gone in an instant.
They have to be so quick to get the save. Fishman actually gets a pretty good hook shot, but the stun had connected.
Catch Skeeter. Yeah. Skeeter was able to make it round that.
And now Skeeter he pretty much has the 20 talent. So it feels like in the next situations, even if they get BKB up before the stuns, they might just die anyway.
As you say, yeah. Cold embraces winner's curses. The pressure is on for Kataomi. Has to come in with those clutch saves.
And that's why I was...
the only thing that will protect them.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of saying also there's a chance that Pure maybe looks to go for like a Shiva's, because you can see he needs armor, he needs something to protect himself versus Skeeter. As it all just happens so fast.
I know, it feels hard that even with the Shiva's, if he gets on top of you like that, you're probably dead. Very, very low, if not just dead anyway. Snaking.
He's got that smile on.
Got a bit of a smile on it. When he sees his carry take down the enemy carry that quickly, he's going to be happy.
I mean, Skeeter's just been able to sit back and farm, and then as soon as he showed up twice, he's gotten the big kills. It's kind of the dream situation for him. 33, getting pulled out of it. Nice recall. Little tumble over the trees there. Yeah, they're pulling around all over the map, pressuring bottom. Now they've recalled 9 to mid lane, and they're ready to fight. Skeeter is 20. BKB's at the ready. Anthony the summons, scouting them.
They're going to jump in straight away onto Toby. Toby's in trouble, he's gone.
They just can't save anybody. Kataomi, he's not able to get in range over and over again this time around. They just die way too fast.
I mean, Tundra, they could look to jump for more. 9. He's charging up to the high ground. He's ready to look for more action. Pure has to defensively astral himself. Kataomi comes in.
The Lincolns.
It blocks the curse. And now Kataomi will die for that. We'll see a buyback from Toby. Over to the side. 33's got the roar. They'll jump in over towards Pure. And they'll take down this OD. They'll bring down the clock. Tundra, they're ready to roll them over. An Entity, they're throwing so many buybacks into this fight. They really want to try their best to turn it. See if they can do so. See Pure off to the side. 33's picked up a triple and he's still going to go for more. They're on top of Pure. Back from Pure. Entity just crumbling in this team fight to Tundra.
Tundra hit their stride and now they're just finding everything. They have full control.
They're diving in. I mean, Stormstormer getting slowed up by the call. He's gone as well. Everybody dead and more. That was I think, what, 3 buybacks, 3 diebacks there on Entity.
That was an 8 for 0. Oh my goodness. The game has completely exploded. The Lincolns by 9 blocks the curse. Entity full panics. They Solar Guardian on top too.
Buyback.
Oh boy.
That went downhill fast.
Oh yeah. And
15k lead. They're up into the base. They're going to look for barracks.
They might be able to go tier 4s.
I think they might be able to.
Especially Glyph is used.
See how much they want to take here, Tundra.
Let's see what they look to do with that.
Well,
this game blew up.
It did. I mean, you know, on the OD, Pure, he got to have a little bit of a showing early on in the game, but it really, you could tell in the way that Tundra was playing that they knew that they were going to have this potential at a certain point to just jump and kill him, and they're doing it again.
It's a Skeeter specialty, right? His CK, he knows when he has those windows, and he's taking them perfectly. He knows how to win the game. Yeah, 5-1 and 3. Back up, Roche is up. They don't want to force the issue too much, but this game just, I mean, the game is like, feels like it's completely over now.
It's so hard now. Look at that. It just like that. It dropped in an instant from probably like a 40% win probability down to a 1%. They'll try for the steal, but the Aegis has already been picked up by Skeeter.
He got shard.
I got shard.
Little small thing at least, but yeah, these, I mean, pretty big mistakes. It feels like almost by Entity, but Tundra just read the map perfectly. From every one of these team fights, it just seems like they get the instant stuns, they don't get the BKBs off, and the targets just die. And then Kataomi tries to go for a play, and it all just gets turned on.
Back in action. And they're catching Toby there with a Remnant 9.
Ever since the catch top, right? They catch Stormstormer top playing too aggressive. Kataomi can't get the save. Then they get a secondary catch onto Pure. Then a third and a fourth. It's all just ramped up so quick for Tundra.
Oh, there's no refresher orb on the Phoenix.
Holy. Full items out of nowhere after these last few successful
Look at that. It's a straight refresher here for Snaking.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm 33. I'm going to use the curse to set up, and he has already BKB'd. See if they can kill him as this comes to an end.
Oh, he jukes it. He's going to blink. Nope.
Might still get the chance to. Yep. Oh, he will. He's away.
Tumble and recall.
Is under attack.
Goodbye.
Tumblr's toy. He's still hanging on to it at 30 minutes. Just for those type of escapes. And now, Tundra ready to fight up here.
Yeah, Entity's in a bit of an awkward spot now. They've chased this far up the lane. I mean, Toby's just getting slowed to the side and put the BKB. He'll go for the BKB TP. If they got the physical, they don't. He'll live, only just though.
That's a strange.
But never ever to take a fight, it feels like now. Entity so far behind. Even now having to switch item builds, going for Lincoln's on Stormstormer likely, just so he doesn't get one-shotted during the combo from CK. And Soxta now just pulling 9 bottom. Looking for Stormstormer. Ooh.
Always. Gonna find him a bit in the trees here. He's slippery enough to get away though, Stormstormer.
Still spooky, because his TP was on cooldown. Sweating bullets a little bit. And top
lane, 33. He's in with the roar onto Pure. And with the Solar Guardian and the Cold Embrace. This time round, heals will be there, but there's a Supernova off to the side. Skinner's got the pullback onto Pure. Pure's dead for 70. The Supernova's done, catches out Toby. Of course, the BKB is still on cooldown, so no escape here for the Dawnbreaker. Toby tries to run, but the stun will connect. He goes down. Katomi's out as well. He'll get the curse off, but it doesn't matter. Okay, at least gets him the kill on staking in return, but it's looking to be over. 4 dead on Entity. Tundra, again, just steamrolling the team fight, and they're ready to bring it down the mid.
And a well-deserved tip, really, for Skeeter. He played this game to perfection. He waited for his perfect time, hits his 15, gets Blink, BKB, etc. And the 2 or 3 times that he showed up early on, it got them those big kills that got them to this advantage. And now, yeah, game's over. They have a Hex on Invoker, but nobody else is alive.
No, Skeeter knew his timings perfectly. He knew exactly what had to be done and when to turn up, when to look to win the game. As the buyback will come out from Katomi, trying to slow down Tundra on this final push. Katomi will get dragged back outside of the fountain. He goes down. The Ancient's exposed. As there it is. GG is called. Tundra will take this game 3, and with that, the series, it's theirs. 2-1, and an important one, of course, as well, which will now put Tundra, I believe, in that top spot in the league, Fob.
Yep, and they looked really good with it this time, too. The last 2 games, it was kind of like this clear perfection Entity. They had a bit of a better shot this time in the early game, but some pretty big errors coming out. Tundra capitalizes on it perfectly, and then it's just back-to-back kind of like chain feed. And yeah, I mean, the Rose situation, like these forced errors, 8 deaths to 0 around the pit. That's something you don't really see too often. Yeah, that was a
wild fight. That was
explosive.
They crumbled so quickly there. I mean, it was relatively close before that point. I mean, sure, we'd already started to see sort of signs of cracking with, how heroes were dying so quickly to Skeeter turning up. But yeah, that fight, that really did sort of just seal the deal and say that, it was game over from that point onwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. They try the OD experiment again in game 3. It looked a little better, but still very much felt that the hero did have those vulnerabilities, and Tundra, they knew how to exploit it perfectly in that second half of the game. The series, it's all Tundra's here today. They'll take it 2-1 against Entity.
What's your style?